Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be doing something fun today. We are going to be going over the monster section of the banned list. That means you cannot even run one of these. And we're going to do explanations of why these cards are banned. But, even now, I will agree with a lot of new players that are coming into the game because I get asked a lot of the time, why is this card banned? This card's way better. And I agree with them. There are certain decks that can utilize certain cards more than others, but there are current cards in the metagame, for example, like Gateway of the Six, which is still a beyond unreasonably broken card. But that said, let's go over some of the things that are already currently banned, and if you don't know why they're banned, you might be able to find out why. So first off, we're going to go over Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. Now, his brother, Envoy of the Beginning, the Blackluster card, I find that card still way too good to be illegal into the game, but, as the meta goes along, this card is seriously so much better than Blackluster Soldier. So anyways, it's the same summon condition. You banish a light and a dark, and then you pay 1,000 life points to send all cards in both players' hands and on the field to the graveyard, and you inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent for each card sent to the graveyard by this effect. Now that is an insane effect. Not only does it get rid of everything, and if you're maybe down cards or something like that, you can come right back into the game. But your opponent also takes significant amounts of damage simply by you just going, I'm just going to clear everything. And Stardust Dragon, anything that would normally negate things that destroy, cannot stop Chaos Emperor Dragon. You can, however, effect Baylor this card, and they still have to pay the cost of 1,000 life points. But still, really insanely, OP card. Next up, Cyberjar. This card can put you right back into the game, so let's go ahead and read its effect. It reminds me of like Morphing Jar, although Morphing Jar is still legal, and I still find sometimes, occasionally, Morphing Jar in the correct deck that plays, a lot of just back row, just some types of burn or stall. Like, they can actually do some pretty dirty things if they open up with Morphing Jar. So anyways, this one's a flip effect, which means it's a little bit slower, but you destroy all monsters on the field, then both players reveal the top 5 cards from their decks and special summon all revealed level 4 or lower monsters in face-up attack position or face-down defense position, and you add any remaining cards to their hand. And then if you have lower than 5 cards, you reveal as many as you possibly can. So that said, that completely changes the game around, and it makes it so if you're going, second, you could potentially just, even going first is pretty nasty too. A Cyberjar can absolutely change the game just because, you might be down cards and you can just be like, oh, cool, Cyberjar. Now I have all the cards. Your opponent might not have that many cards on the field now as far as monsters. Maybe they win for game, and now you just destroyed a whole bunch of their monsters, and now you get to add, everything that's not monsters to your hand. You can potentially OTK them. So it's kind of one of those cards where you can kind of gain significant advantage. I would still say Morphing Jar allows you to gain significant advantage in the game as well. Next card up, Stein. Now this card, I used to use this card all the time when I played the Yu-Gi-Oh game for the Game Boy Advance, Eternal Duelist Soul. I used to use Stein, and I believe this was the strongest monster in that game that you could get out. So it has a hefty cost, so you have to pay 5,000 life points, and you supposed to summon one fusion monster from your fusion deck to the field in attack position. Now this is way before Effect Veiler was even a card, but if this card became legal and it got Effect Veiler, man, you pretty much are set up to lose, because not only do you have a monster that's in attack position that only has 700 attack, but you've also paid 5,000 points of life. You're not looking too good. But yeah, really old card, and I'm glad this card is actually banned, because you could kind of steal games. If you think about it, you could just go Cyberstein into the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. There might be a stronger monster, but this one is still pretty strong. Equip a Megamorph to it, bam, that's 9,000 attack. Plus, you still have the attack of this guy, which is 700, but yeah, really nasty. Now, the next card was, a card a lot of people thought would come back, because it did get reprinted in the Battle Pack Epic Dawn. Dark Magician of Chaos. So we'll go over the effect real quick. So when this card is normal or special summon, you can target one spell card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. If this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. Now, with cards legal like Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Reborn, this makes this card insane. Man, this card was so OP. Especially since Call of the Haunted, it was at 3 right now. If this card ever came back, it can open up a lot of dirty plays in the game. Next up, Destiny Hero Disc Commander. Now, I'm not sure if this came back, would it actually impact the meta? There's so many other broken cards in the game, and the D-Draw engine is still, D-Draw's at 3, but, it's not topping. So, this card's effect when it's special summon from the game, you get to draw 2 cards. There was a deck called Purple Circle Monarchs, although I still find that deck to be, too slow versus the meta. But, if this card ever came back, Call of the Haunted would be a great trainable. to get this card back and draw 2 cards. Very awesome card. Plus it's level 1. So you can like technically a 1/4 on it. I don't know if it would allow like very much play. Like even if this card became legal, I'm not sure if people would actually try playing Perfect Circle of Monarchs, because it doesn't seem like it'd be a viable deck against some of the meta that's just like absolutely way too fast. And let's just call Hunter just as a reference. But anyways, next up, Fiber Jar. So this card is actually pretty insane. So both players unite. Oh, they unite. Anyways, you basically just restart the duel, but it says both players unite their respective cards on the field in their hands and in their graveyards with their respective decks and shuffle them. Then both players draw 5 cards from their shuffled decks. So basically, it resets the duel, and then basically you get to essentially go first, kind of, but your opponent can still set back row in main phase 2 if they attacked into it. But this kind of like resets the duel. Plus, it's plants. So, you gotta hate on the plants because Glow Bulb has to be banned. I mean, Glow Bulb is still a really awesome card, but let's be honest, Elemental Dragons are like. Even if Glow Bulb came back, I still think Elemental Dragons would be like the highest of tier decks. Although, I was thinking about if Glow Bulb was legal plus Elemental Dragons, you can go for like double level 8s. But I still think that like a version Light and Darkness Dragon or a first turn draw 6 with a whole bunch of Karakuris on the field is still a pretty good move as well. A lot better than maybe than just like 2 level 8 Synchros. But 2 level 8 Synchros nonetheless, still pretty nasty. Next up, Fishborg Blaster. Now, it was kind of sad because this card actually got reprinted in Super Rare. Then Konami was like, nope, sorry guys, it's banned now. So, unfortunately, that was kind of a disappointment. But it allowed Quasar plays to be too easy. All you needed was Treeborn Frog and this card, and then all you need to do is summon Rescue Rabbit, and you'd be set up to go. All you need you Rescue Rabbit into like 7-colored fish, 2 of them, and then this card has the effect where you can just discard 1 card, as long as you control a face-up level 3 or lower water monster, which Treeborn Frog is. So then you could just spell summon it multiple times, and then you'd sync for Librarian, then you'd sync for what is it? Wait, does it have to be? It has to be Synchro Summon. Let's see. It's been a while since I checked out this card. Oh, if this monster is used as Synchro Material monster, all the other Synchro Material monsters must be water. I thought it had to go for water, but anyways, yeah, you'd go for Librarian, and then you would discard another card plus. You'll get to draw cards off Librarian, so it doesn't really matter. So then you go for Cataster. Then finally, because he's a tuner, you use him and Treeborn Frog, and you make Formula. Then you just go straight for Quasar. So it was just really easy to go straight for Quasar. It was basically just, all you needed was like Rescue Out, basically. There's a card called Screech where you would be able to like send 2 water monsters, I believe, and you just send Fishborg and Treeborn to the graveyard. It was just way too fast, and basically you can kind of consider like a 3-card Quasar, although like it doesn't really matter. All you basically needed was Rescue Rabbit, because you always had the setup of Fishborg and Treeborn in the graveyard. It was really easy. The next one is Magical Scientist, and it involves Catapult Turtle. Although, I mean, I was reading like how the OTK was pulled off, and I'm like, that's not even that good. You have to have Magical Scientist, plus you have to have Catapult Turtle, which is already a card you have to tribute for. And then I was like, well, you know what? This card is not like a once per turn, so you can just get, a whole bunch of fusion monsters, because it's 6 or lower, and you can just start XYZing like crazy. Yeah, the fusion monster can't attack, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, you're going to go for a whole bunch of XYZ. So this card should still stay banned, in my opinion. Next card up, Magician of Faith. A lot of players thought this card could come back. I personally look at the game, and it really depends on what spells are illegal in the game. Like Dark Hole Heavy Reborn, like, I don't know. Those are pretty good cards for Magician of Faith to get back. Plus, it's a spellcaster. Spellbooks, right? Although, if they're summoning it, it's not going to be, like, face down. Next up, Mercury the Destructor. This card opened up so many doors for FTKs, and I'm glad this card is gone. Although most of the FTK cards also got banned. There was Exchange to the Spirit, which was banned, but we'll go over the spells and traps in another video, because there's so many cards to actually cover, and we gotta discuss them a little bit, and it'll be like an hour-long video. But yeah, he's banned because all the cards like Jargreep, Legacy of Yata-Garasu, Reckless Greed, you can just activate so many things from your hand to where you just you can Exodia, you can do so many different things to just win the first turn. Next up, Mind Master. Mind Master allows a lot of shenanigans, especially with a lot of the new Psychic cards. Although, to get Mind Master, there's so many different ways to OTK with Mind Master. Basically, you can swarm the field. But you'll have to have another way to get out another monster. You'll have to basically have a Psychic on the field, then you just summon this, and then you just keep on paying, because it's not a once per turn. So one card that you can use it in combo with is Hush Psychic Cleric. So this one has the effect of once per turn you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard to select one Psychic type monster in your graveyard and remove it from play. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, select one monster removed from play by this effect and special summon it. You could do it with Librarian, so then it doesn't really matter since you have to send one card from your hand to the graveyard. As long as you can get out Librarian before you go for this card with Mind Master, you can keep on drawing cards and it doesn't really matter because you're going to keep on synchroing. And there's just a lot of shenanigans with Mind Master, so that's why he is banned. Rescue Cat. Now I played X-Sabers back in the day when Cold Wave Cat was a thing. Oh man, this was the nastiest combo in the game. But Rescue Cat was, I would say it's kind of X-Saber's fault for getting Rescue Cat banned, although there's so many other decks that utilize Rescue Cat as well. At one point there was a Rescue Cat deck. It was really, really, really OP. It involved using Dark Strike Fighter and just gaming your opponent so fast, and it was really nasty. But at that time I believe someone was at 3, so I mean you could technically stop some stuff sometimes. And Rescue Cat, later in the game, before it got banned, I would say it was kind of X-Saber's fault because, after it got reprinted, I don't remember what turbo pack it was, but I believe it was X-Saber's fault, though. But what Rescue Cat could do is you can go Rescue Cat into Airbellum and then into Dark Soul, and then you would synchro up for a Hyunlei. You could potentially pop 3 back row, and then on the end phase you would get a Dark Soul Search off of just 1 card. It was insane at the things that you could do, especially now with the XYZs. Rescue Cat is just really OP. Next up, Sangan Serpent. Since all the waters, there's so many there's so much water support, and the fact that you could always just have a water card, for example, Megalo, you could just keep on discarding this card over and over, and you'd always have stuff in your hand. So that's pretty much, I would say it's the Mermail's fault that this card probably won't be seeing any play, because it'll probably stay banned. Next up, a few formats ago, this card, might have had a chance, but with the Mermails, I doubt it. Next up, Substitoad. Now, this opened up an OTK, or FTK, I should say, with Mass Driver. Mass Driver is actually already banned, but its effect is you contribute 1 monster to special summon 1 frog monster from your deck, except for Frog the Jam. And basically, you would deck thin like crazy, and then you would use Mass Cannon or Mass Driver, and then you would keep on getting back these Rodent Totems, and you would just basically burn your opponent. There's also a variant with Monarchs. All you need is Substitoad plus the Soul Exchange, and you would just deck thin everything, and then all you would draw is Monarchs. It was a really cool deck. But I really don't like this card because of the Mass Driver or Mass Cannon FTK OTK. I still think that this card has maybe some potential in the future to come back. I'm trying to think of what would make this broken. They already banned the problematic card, which enabled the FTK. I just really don't like FTKs in Yu-Gi-Oh! Other than sometimes it's fun just to see someone like Exodia, some other player that's playing a high tier deck, and you see the other player just Exodia, and it's just kind of funny. But Tribe-Infecting Virus. Now this card can't come back because of all the Atlanteans, the Mermails. So you discard 1 card from your hand, and you declare 1 type of monster. Destroy all face-up monsters of the declared type on the field. Now the thing is, that's not a once per turn effect, so you can keep on discarding all the cards that get effects, like Heavy Infantry, Marksman, and Atlantean Dragoons, and you can get all their effects. So this card will probably never come back because of that. But other than that, if the Atlanteans and Mermails weren't a thing, I could potentially see that. It's only 1600 attack, and the effect is really good though. It does kind of clear the board, but it's at a cost though. Monsters that don't really have a cost where you have to discard or something like that, it just seems like they're much better in the game. Next up, Victory Dragon. I was actually kind of surprised because I remember on the very bottom of this card it says you can't use this card in the duel. There's a lot of these cards where it's you tribute 3 and it can't be special summoned, but this card attacks your opponent directly and reduces their life points to 0. You win the match. Now that's pretty nasty because winning the match makes it so there's no games 2 and 3. So that's why this card is banned. Although, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to see someone pull it off. But now with, the Elemental Dragons, it'd be pretty easy to pull off. Although, it's kind of a dead card. What is it? What level is it? 8? It doesn't really matter what level it is because you can't special summon it anyways. But, it'd be kind of cool just to see if this card could ever come out. And, occasionally when it is pulled off, I'm sure a crowd of people would be like, oh, he pulled it off. It's kind of a dead draw, I would say, majority of the time. Even if you were going to play it in Elemental Dragons, it could potentially just be a dead card for a while. And, it doesn't really have an effect other than the win condition itself. It doesn't have it's unaffected by traps or something like that, and it's just really vulnerable, and you have to tribute 3 monsters to get it out, and it has to be dragon type too, so it's kind of specific. I think it would be cool to see this card come out until someone breaks it. Maybe you guys already know the combo that breaks it, but the way I look at it is, it's a really, really slow card. Next up, Witch of the Black Forest. This card just searched out too much. I believe it searches out Dark-Arm. Dark-Arm has, like, what's Dark-Arm's defense? Let's check out Dark-Arm's defense. Dark-Arm's got 1,000. Witch of the Black Forest into Dark-Arm. Pretty good. But yeah, this card's banned because it searches out literally too much. I think it searches out Jinzo too, if I remember correctly. 1,500? Yeah, 1,500 less. That was like the old combo. Witch into Jinzo into like, what did they use? Change of Heart, Snatch Shield, Jinzo. Like, oh man. Like, Jinzo was like the card back in the day. But next up, Yata-Garasu. Oh man, this card is like, it's not fun. There's a combo with Chaos Emperor Dragon. All you need to do is set Sangan or set Witch, and then you use Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect, and then you add Yata-Garasu. And Yata-Garasu, he's a spirit, not that it really matters, because when he attacks, your opponent skips their next draw phase. And if you guys remember Chaos Emperor Dragon from the very beginning, we were talking about how it sends all cards from both players' hand and on the field to the graveyard, and then you inflict 300 points of damage, and then since you would have either Witch or Sangan on the field, and you added Yata-Garasu, you would seriously just poke them for 200 points until they decided to give up. The only way you could possibly lose if your opponent had a whole bunch of life points and you perhaps decked out, but realistically it wasn't going to happen. Yata-Garasu is just the most painful way to lose in the game. I mean, there's other cards that, make your opponent go like -1. You might think, oh, a Spirit Reaper makes your opponent -1, but this skips their next draw phase. So if they literally don't have an answer to Yata-Garasu in their hand, they basically lose. Or on the field, they basically lose because they're going to be poked for 200 forever, and they can't draw any new cards that would potentially get around it. Lastly, we have Sangan, which is like kind of the newest addition to the band. Oh, also Zenmaity. I forgot about that card. This card, I'm so glad this card's gone. We have to put it over here. But Sangan, I believe it's kind of Rescue Rabbit's fault because Sangan got Rescue Rabbit, but Sangan searched out like everything. The way I looked at it though, Sangan was kind of a slower card, although next turn you could go like ham with the Rescue Rabbit into, Lagia Dulka, which kind of like destroyed the game, especially when Rescue Rabbit was at 3 and Tour Guide was at 3. And I don't know if you guys knew, but in the very beginning of the Dino Rabbit, it wasn't even Macro Rabbit. There was Fissure Rabbit. There were some people doing Macro, but it was all about Fissure Rabbit. And there was a lot of players actually playing Gold Sark because like one of the first builds was something from Adam Korn. He played Double Sark. He played BLS in his build, and yeah, there was a lot of players just going for first turn Leviers. They would go Gold Sark for Rabbit, go for Levier, get back the Rabbit, and then they'd go for Lagia, then set everything. And it was a pretty nasty thing to deal with. I'm not sure why the Gold Sark phase kind of just like went out. It went out really fast, so it didn't last very long. But oh, we got actually another monster over here. But first off, Zenmaity. I never liked cards when they were summoned to special summon more cards. I thought that was like, you've already special summoned, you already have advantage. Cards like Karakuri Bure, actually most of the Karakuri Synchros just special summon a Karakuri from their the deck. And I think that, like, if you already have a huge monster, why do you get more monsters? That's kind of like OP. But yeah, I never liked cards like that. And this card, especially when it was at 3, oh man. Wait, I don't think this card, did it go to 1? I don't really remember off the top of my head if it went to 1 then got banned. But I'm glad it's gone because like if you're going for this card, especially when it was at 3 to go Zenmaity into another like card, it was pretty dirty. And windups are still like a viable deck. Like the deck is still topping, although it's kind of going down because Elements of Dragons are going to be popular, Spellbook is going to be popular. Although, windups don't really care about the Evil Swarm. Evil Swarm's like 5 or higher, no, you can't get those. And windups was like, nah, just XYZ. XYZ are ranks, so it doesn't really matter for them. But lastly, we have this card. And this is the one card I think, if it came back into the game, it wouldn't even matter. This is Thousand Eyes Restrict, so it requires Relinquish plus Thousand Eyes Idol, so a little bit difficult to get out. Thousand Eyes Idol is an awful monster. Let me just show you guys Relinquish if you guys are unfamiliar, because this video is kind of more for players that are just jumped in the game. So you have to ritual summon this card. This card's actually not so bad. He's got a long effect which we won't go over because we're going over Thousand Eyes Restrict, which kind of has a similar effect. And we have to go, and you have to get out Idol too, or yeah, this is Thousand Eyes Idol. So he's a vanilla monster, not very good. I guess you can Rescue Rabbit into it, and then go for what is it, Slacker Magician. But Thousand Eyes Restrict, he requires Relinquish plus Thousand Eyes Idol. And his effect is, as long as the card remains face up on the field, other monsters cannot change their battle positions or attack. Select one monster on your opponent's side of the field and equip it to this card. This effect can only be used once per turn, and you can only equip one monster at a time to this card. The attack and defense of this card become the same amounts as the monster equipped to this card. If this card is destroyed as a result of battle, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. Now, the thing is, you could use effects. Like, I mean, this card, it sounds good. Like, back in the day, this card was, like, really, really awesome. Because we didn't really have that many, like, really good effects back in the day. Like, Manning Your Bug was, like a staple. Manning Your Bug was, like, an awesome card. But nowadays, it's just like, oh, you use, like, 4 cards to get out Thousand Eyes Restrict. Let me go Tanky Bear. Okay, pop. Okay, attack directly. And then I'm going to search out, you know, whatever I need to search out for. It's just, this card, even if this card came back, I don't think it would even see much play. I mean, there might be some players that tried it, but, like, the thing is, you have to run, like, Idol, and it's just not a very good card in general, especially against the metagame, because it doesn't protect itself. Like, you could steal a monster, but the thing is, no other fields can attack. So, I mean, whatever your opponent has, it's just half that. Does it gain half the attack, or is it full monster? Okay, it's the same amount. Alright. So, you know, it's actually got a decent amount of attack, depending on what it steals, though. But even if it steals something, it's the only card that attacks, so you can't really, like, OTK with Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is something that, you know, I think is good. Whenever the game is slower, I generally think that the more skilled or more experienced player will win those duels. But, yeah, I mean, I really feel like Thousand Eyes Restrict is probably one of the cards that, if it came back, it wouldn't really impact the game at all. Same thing with Victory Dragon. I think that it would be kind of like an interesting win condition. Maybe there's some combo with it that I don't know. But I still feel like Thousand Eyes Restrict is a card that could definitely come back into the game, and it wouldn't really be that problematic. But that's it for the monster section of the ban list, because next time we're going to go over, I don't know, we'll go over spells or traps next, just because there's so much information. And, you know, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time, and I'm so glad I was not around when Cyberjar was legal. I didn't play back then. I actually remember, well, I mean, I didn't play, like, in person. I did play on the Game Boy, like I said earlier, and Cyberjar was really nasty. I don't know if Fiberjar was introduced into the game at that time. I know I didn't have it in the game. I think one of my best cards was, I remember one of my favorite cards in the game was Dark Elf. I loved that card. That was, like, my favorite card because it ran over everything. Let me show you guys this card real quick. It's honestly, like, not that great of a card, but back in the day, this card had so much attack, like 2,000 attack. It got over everything. Another card was oh wait, is it Sky Scout now? Yeah, they changed this guy's name, but Sky Scout. He was also a really good card. And then Neo, the Magic Swordsman. Where is he? Oh yes, I love this guy. 1,700 attack. Yeah, he just had high attack. Back in the day, like, a lot of monsters, like, you would just go for their attack because that's all that mattered. And then there's this card, which I hated because they started you out with this card, like, all the time, and it was a Tribute 1 for only 2,000. But it wasn't as bad as, hold on, let's go over this other card. Where is this card? There it is! I hated this thing, because I didn't have Summon Skull, and this was a 2 tribute for a 21, and I hated it because all the time it would always be like change your heart, and they would like change your heart, and then they'd steal it. But anyways, those are some of the banned cards. I hope this helps you guys out. That we're kind of curious on some cards that are banned, and, you know, I gave you reasons why. Although this one, I think it could really come back. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Nice signing out.